Hello, my friends, and welcome to The Chew. I'm Robert Wallace. This is the place where we ask this question: am I choosing the way of Jesus, or am I choosing my own way? Well, this week we are looking at restoration and community, and today we're going to look at brokenness. Brokenness. Have you ever experienced brokenness that felt as if you were overtaken by news that cut so deep? Maybe it was the loss of a loved one or a dear friend, or any loss that just cut so deep that it overtook you, it consumed you. Well, this is how Nehemiah felt at the news that he received from his brother. It cut him to the quick. You see, Israel was broken, her gates were burned, and she was left in ruins. The very place that had become the place that symbolized the Jewish people and their relationship with God, a people who were set apart by God to be a witness to the world. Her people were in disgrace and trouble because the city was in ruin and disrepair. Now, Nehemiah's response was the same as many of us when we experience trouble so great. He wrote, "When I heard these things, I sat down and wept. Then, for some days, I mourned and fasted and prayed before the God of heaven." That was Nehemiah's experience. And I hope that you're beginning to get an image in your mind of how deeply he felt for the children of Israel and for the city that was in ruin and without protection. I can think of two times in the New Testament where the writers write that Jesus wept. John chapter 11 and Luke chapter 19, verses 41 through 44. In Luke 19, 41 through 44, Jesus is responding to what took place because Lazarus had passed away. Verse 33, Luke writes this: "Then Jesus, when he saw her weeping, and the Jews who came with her weeping, he was deeply moved in spirit and was troubled within himself. And he said, 'Where have you taken him?' They said to him, 'Lord, come and see.'" Verse 35, Jesus wept. Then in John, we read beginning in verse 41, "As he approached Jerusalem and saw the city, he wept over it and said, 'If you, even you, had only known, this day would bring you peace. But now it is hidden from your eyes. The days will come upon you when your enemies will build an embankment against you and encircle you and hem you in on every side. They will dash you to the ground, you and the children within your walls. They will not leave one stone on another, because you did not recognize the time of God's coming to you." Nehemiah wept over his city and those within it because of trouble and disgrace. Jesus wept over the loss of his close friend's despair because of the loss of Lazarus. Then he wept over the city of Jerusalem because they had missed an opportunity for peace and because of the loss to come. Do we weep over those who don't know Jesus? Do we weep over the loss we see in our homes, communities, and in our nation? Do we weep over the hurt of others? Do we weep over the brokenness in our own lives? The way of Jesus is brokenness. Which way are you choosing? Are you choosing the way of Jesus, or are you choosing your own way? I pray that as you chew on these questions today, and as you chew on these passages that I've shared today, that you will invite the Holy Spirit to give you eyes to see and ears to hear God's truth from His Word. That you'll have a receptive heart and mind to receive these truths. And then, in faith, will you ask yourself about your brokenness for this world and for yourself? Do so in faith, with the same boldness, commitment, and courage of Jesus. I pray you'll have a wonderful day, my friends. Go in the peace of God. Blessings to you. Bye for now.